What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the WeldWerks Brewing Company, and they're out of Greeley, Colorado, and this is their double dry hopped Juicy Bits. So they're calling this one an IPA that is brewed and double dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and El Dorado hops. It comes in at 6.7% alcohol by volume, 59 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is just over 1 month old. So here in the Buffalo, New York area, we are apparently getting distro of WeldWerks now, and I've heard really good things about WeldWerks. I've had one beer from them. It was their Pina Colada Milkshake IPA. I had it at a bottle share about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was delicious. Outside of that, I've heard really good things about their fruited Berliner Weisses and their, is it their Achromatic, I believe, series of like big pastry stouts. Heard nothing but good things about that. So the fact that we are getting WeldWerks now, I don't know if this is going to be like a one-time only drop or we're actually getting distro. I'm pretty excited about it. I think like 4 or 5 beers from them showed up, and I grabbed this and their strawberry rhubarb pie Berliner Weiss. So I'm going to be reviewing this one first because it is hop forward beer and it's relatively fresh and I want to get into it. So anyway, let's crack it open. Citra, Mosaic, and El Dorado. And I've heard really good things about the Juicy Bits series, Juicy Bits series. They have a bunch of different beers within this series, and this is just so happens to be the double dry hopped version. So let's give it a pour here. Yeah, so it's pouring out like your typical hazy goodness, right? Do something like that for now. We will put this over here and get into it. So yeah, has that murky yellow-orange color, a very turbid and murky, very vibrant. On camera, it's going to be a little bit more dull. In person, kind of has like a sunshine glow to it. About a 3/4 of a finger of this really creamy off-white head. Looks beautiful. As far as a hazy goes, plays the role. It's a good nose. Wow. Oh my God. That, I was not anticipating that. Listen, time out. I've heard good things about WeldWerks. I've heard good things about Juicy Bits and the double dry hopped, and again, some other beers within the series. This is top tier aroma for something that's sub 7% where you're talking about a hop forward hazy, for sure. There is an insane amount of sweet, juicy orange, tangerine, peach, mango. So it's a combination of citrus and stone fruits, but really juicy, over-ripened. It's not like super sweet, but it's just like you just bit into like an orange, right? Where you peeled it and you just went ham on it. That's kind of the aroma I'm getting. It's just so fresh. Maybe a little bit of like a pineapple too. Yeah, now it's giving me a little melon vibe, like honeydew, cantaloupe. So, you know, when people talk about hazies, and I feel like I'm one of the few beer tubing channels where I don't use the word juicy a lot when it comes to hazies. Like I typically say sweet or over-ripened or whatever the case may be, but I very rarely say juicy a lot. This smells juicy. It really does. It's making my mouth water. There's a touch of like slight dankness on like after you take the first sniff, like you get all that juicy sweet citrus and stone fruit, and right after that there's this really nice like dank component. Yeah, almost like a resinous kind of hop tone. All right, not much more to say about it. It's not super complex. It's not like punching me in the face with 17 different flavors, or I should say aromas, but it smells awesome. It really does. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Fuck me. Why? So here's the thing. I know with dry hopping, and certainly triple dry hopping, you single, double, triple. If you're using a lot of dry hops, or not dry hops themselves, because it's not dry hops, you dry hop, whether it's double or triple or whatever the case may be, a lot of times the aromatics are fantastic. Typically when I see DDH, double dry hop, I know the aromatics are going to be top tier. It was here. The problem with double dry hopping and triple dry hopping is that a lot of times for me, the taste does not carry over from the aroma, and it's disappointing, and that's exactly what's happening right here. The aroma was top tier for a sub 7% hop forward beer. And I know dry hopping typically imparts the big aromatic blast that you expect, but a lot of times the flavor can match up to it. In this case, it's not. It's still good on the taste, don't get me wrong. It's just not matching up to what the nose was. So let's go body and mouthfeel. For 6.7%, this is lower side and medium, maybe a touch thin, kind of all right. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth. There's a little bit more carbonation than I'm accustomed to for something that is, like a New England-style IPA. But the mouthfeel, solid. Body, touch thin, it's okay. The taste. Orange, tangerine, peach. But everything I said in the nose about it being juicy and sweet, it's kind of not exactly the opposite, but it didn't do a complete 180. What happened here is that all those fruits are still present, but it's more of like a zesty, rindy orange and a tangerine. It's more of like an underripened peach. So it's those flavors without the juicy kind of sweet notes that you would get with like an overripened orange or peach, which is nice. It's really nice. As it continues to pass through, I get a touch of pineapple. There's an underlying like crackery malt sensation as well. On the back of the palate, finish is earthy, a little bit of dankness. But the nose was better. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. The nose was better. And it happens if you are somebody who is a subscriber to my channel and you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know, if you watch a lot of hop forward reviews from me, this has been happening a lot over the past 3 or 4 months. I will get a beer that the aromatics are fantastic, and it's typically because they're either double dry hopped or triple dry hopped, and then I'll get the taste and I'll be like, it's good, but the nose was better. The nose on this beer, I'm not going to bullshit you. The nose was like high 4.7. This is like a 4.8 out of 5, the nose. It's everything I would want in a sub 7% hop forward beer. New England style IPA. It had all the juicy, sweet citrus and stone fruits. And then I taste it and it's like, okay, I still get those characters, but it's not as good as it was in the nose. And it happens. This beer is not overly sweet, which is nice. A lot of times these 6.5%, 7% New England style IPAs can be a little bit too sweet. This isn't too sweet to begin with. And then there's a nice like mild bitterness and semi-dry kind of finish. Again, earthy and dank on the finish. 6.7%, can't really tell. Can't taste the alcohol. It's a really good beer. This is actually really good. The problem is, it's when you're doing a review like this and you smell the beer and it's so inviting and you're just kind of losing your shit. You're like, it's setting you up for what you hope is going to be something that is amazing, an amazing experience in general. And then you taste it and you're like, yeah, it's really good. You can see the disappointment in this review. My mood probably changed from when I took that first sip to where we are right now. And it happens. Can't really apologize for it because that's reviewing a beer. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to tell you my honest opinion of the beer and how this went. And how this went is the nose is fucking dynamite and the taste is pretty damn good, but it doesn't live up to the nose. So I think this is a pretty well-balanced beer. I like the orange, tangerine, peach components at the front of the palate. I like that dank, earthy finish. I like that it has that balance between like a semi-dry, mild bitterness, a little bit of sweetness up front. It has that crackery kind of malt sensation too that I enjoy on lower ABV hop forward beers like this. And it's fine. I say 6.7%, say low ABV. I drink so many double IPAs that when I get something that's sub 7%, I refer to as low ABV. It really isn't. Like low ABV would be like 4 to 5%, but for New England style IPA or double IPA, 6.7 is a little bit lower ABV. So where do I rate this? Like I said, nose is 4.8. I'm going to have to drop that by like a half point, maybe even a little bit more. So I'm going to give double dry hop Juicy Bits from WeldWerks. First beer I'm reviewing from them on the channel. I have no problems giving this a low 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.15 out of 5. I had to drop it quite a bit actually because the aroma is just wow. And then you taste it and you're like, man. But I will say this is really good. This is super drinkable at 6.7%. Like I said, there's a great balance here. It's not going to be something that weighs down your palate. I think after a couple cans, you're going to still be able to drink this. It's not going to be like, oh man, that's too much, of anything really. Yeah, super easy to drink. So not much more to say about it other than price and availability. In my neck of the woods, I picked up a can. I think this was just over $5. I think 4 packs of this were $20. Again, it's a 6.7% single, it's not a double IPA, it's a single IPA. I would like to see this no more than $18, but again, it got into distro. I'd imagine if you got this at the brewery or in and around Greeley, Colorado, that, these are probably $16 to $18 a 4-pack, I'd imagine. But in my neck of the woods, they get into distro, it's $20 a 4-pack. I'm glad I picked up a can of this. I would not rebuy that at $20 a 4-pack. Even at 4.15, there's just better 6.7% New England style IPAs here locally that I could get for the same price or cheaper. Availability. I have no idea. I know WeldWerks gets a distro in Greeley. I know they are on some different, online websites. But we got a drop of them here recently. By the time you see this review, hopefully there's still stuff left here in the Buffalo, New York area. I picked this up at Premier Gourmet in Amherst, New York. Great bottle shop. Highly recommend them. But if you get distro now of WeldWerks and you maybe haven't gotten them, say in the past year, maybe 6 months, let me know. I'd be curious to know what other cities are getting distro. Because here's the thing. I started this whole price point and availability at the end of the reviews because a lot of people ask, like, where can I get that beer? How much did you pay? And I would, in my early reviews, like the first couple years, I didn't do that. But now when I get into the like distro of a lot of these beers, I just sit here and go, I don't know. Somebody tell me, because I really don't. Like the distro game in the last 2 years over the course of the pandemic, what has happened is there's a lot of crazy breweries that I never thought would see distro just show up here randomly. Like, it's insane the amount of breweries that have showed up here, to the point where, like, I go to the beer store and I am disappointed in myself that I'm passing up buying singles of different breweries, because I just can't. I don't want to spend, I spend easily a couple $100 every single time I go to the beer store. And on top of it, there's other beers here locally that I want to try, and, some standby, some classics. So it's like, I saw WeldWerks and I was like, I have to grab this because I've heard good things. And I'll grab one of their, fruited Berliner Weisses or pastry Berliner Weisses. So I grabbed 2 beers from them, and I could have grabbed like 5 or 6. I think they have 5 showed up. I could have grabbed like 5 beers and I just didn't. But yeah, so if you get distro of WeldWerks, let me know what you think about their beers, if you've picked any of them up. And if you're in and around the Greeley, Colorado area, and you maybe have went to the brewery, or you can get their stuff around the brewery, let me know what you pay for them locally, and I would love to hear it. So not much more to say about this review. I'm going to shut it down. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers.